not sure whether to feel more disgusted or angry or upset.
The caller told the FBI she overheard a private conversation between Epstein and Donald Trump. The caller claimed she overheard Trump describing a recent overseas visit, allegedly saying that a sheik had given his virgin daughter to him. The document states that Epstein allegedly responded approvingly, with the two men discussing young women in graphic terms. She further alleged seeing a partially nude young woman emerge from a bathroom closet, hearing laughter from other girls, and realizing, in her words, what occurred when Ghislaine wasn't around.
This is absolutely shocking.
According to the Wall Street Journal, 4 days before Donald Trump was inaugurated as United States president, a United Arab Emirates businessman made a $500 million commitment to invest in one of Trump's family's companies, his cryptocurrency company. A decision that resulted in a payment of $187 million to the Trump family upfront and $31 million to the family of Stephen Witkoff, the Middle East envoy. The investment, which amounted to $500 million over a period of the deal, made no apparent business sense. The company in which this astonishing amount of $500 million investment was made, that company had almost no products, and its few revenue sources were outside the limit of the deal. It is impossible to understand how any of this could have made any business sense. But the businessman was a member of the royal family and a brother of the president of the United Arab Emirates, and who oversees not just his own enormous wealth, but the very important state investment fund. This businessman committed this vast amount of money to these two families in return for what? A potential answer to that question emerged just 2 months after the $500 million deal. At that point, according to the Wall Street Journal, the Trump administration gave the United Arab Emirates access to $500,000 a year extremely high-tech computer chips that could help build one of the largest artificial intelligence data centers in the world. This was a departure from the Biden administration's approach. This is an astonishing story, a disturbing story, a story with implications not only for U.S. public integrity, but for United States national security. I want to talk about the feeling of helplessness that this story leaves behind. I think a lot of Americans read things like this and just say, what can we do? The Donald Trump administration, there's story after story that seemingly attest to corruption on a scale never seen, not just in American history, but in the history of any democratic country. You get big corruption, billion-dollar corruption in authoritarian societies with unfree presses. But where the press is free, where the parliament or Congress is open, normally there is some restraint on this kind of behavior by high officials. But in the United States, over the past year and a bit of the second Trump administration, all the restraints seem to have broken down. There seem to be no rules at all. The New York Times has estimated that the Trump family has made over $1 billion in this first year plus of the Trump administration. The New Yorker has an update in which they estimate the Trump family's take at $4 billion. Whatever the actual number is, again, it is an astonishing sum, never before seen in history, not just of the United States, but of any pure democracy. Such things are unimaginable or have never happened before.
Particularly, I find it impossible to fathom that so many of my friends and even family members in the United States voted for this individual who has absolutely no moral compass, is corrupt to the core, and stands for a political party who claim to uphold family values, conservative values. The hypocrisy is stunning, and you can't help wonder, why do these people vote for such corrupt persons? Corruption in their working patterns, corruption in their morality. And the answer is the politics of hate. You see, there are actually very few people who follow politics or news or current events with any real seriousness. The vast majority of people just don't. They don't know what political party manifestos are. They don't half the time even know who the leaders are. They don't know what they stand for. They don't know what they will do. But there is one thing they know. They know who they don't like and who would act against those people. They know the communities they don't like. This could be people who are immigrants. This could be people of a certain skin color, people of a certain religion, certain background. And if a politician has targeted those people, if a politician has belittled those people, if a politician has promise to attack those people, they remember that in a positive sense. That's what we call the politics of hate. The vast majority of people who vote for these spreaders of hate still don't know what the political manifestos are, what geopolitics is, what fiscal policies are. They have no idea. All they know is that there is a certain segment of society that they don't like. They blame those people for their own shortcomings, for their own ills. That is a scapegoat that they have chosen to target, and they have identified positively politicians who also scapegoat and stereotype those people. And that's how these people get votes. That's really what it comes down to. It's sad, but that is the truth. Is there any way more reasonable people can remedy this? What do you think? Put it in the comments.